I don't take a lot of these requests anymore, only if I figure it's a gadget that I need, can use, and really want to review. And this is going to be one of them. I'm gonna try to keep this video short because I don't like unboxing videos either. Hey, welcome to Big Lou Barbecue, and you may hear my dogs. They just decided to eat in the background over there, eat their dry food. Contacted by a company selling meat grinders, Aobosi meat grinders on Amazon. So I'll leave my affiliated link, not affiliated to the company, but affiliated to Amazon down below. The company contacted me and asked me if I would review it. Now, I've been thinking about getting a meat grinder for some time because I want to start making my own boudin, which is a type of sausage type stuff that we eat a lot of here in Louisiana. It's pork and rice, so it's got rice in it, but it looks like sausage. Some people argue boudin's not really sausage because it has rice in it, but we love boudin, so I want to start making it, and it's also, generally cooked except for the casing. So this has sausage stuffers with it. And so I've been looking at home meat grinders. I've got one of those stand-up mixers, and I've been thinking about getting the meat grinder attachment on it, but it's had meat mixed reviews and wasn't really sure. So I wanted to get a home meat grinder, okay? And so Aobosi, and that's how I think you pronounce it, sent me this. It came with that sticker on the side. It's got a forward and reverse button. Okay, there's the meat grinding attachment. I'm gonna take that apart and show you in a minute, but you can see how big it is. Now it's got this handle here. Now right here are some tubes that I'm gonna show you in a minute for stuffing sausages. Right back here is a storage area, okay? Now you're supposed to push it and it opens. I keep the instructions there. This little part for making something called kibbe or kib or skib, I don't know. It's some kind of Middle Eastern fried meat pie type of thing, pierogi, empanada kind of thing. And you take the grain, whether the breading or whatever, mix it with some meat, and you stuff it through here, and then you stuff the meat in there. It's got a recipe for it, but that goes right in there. Okay, there's a blade that goes in here if you want to store it there, or you can just store it here. And here are the extra dies. Okay, so there are 3 of them, and I'll show you those in a moment, all right? And there's 1 in there, so it comes with 4, and these tell you, the size meat you want to grind up: fine, coarse, medium, and then something that's kind of like weird shaped. I don't know what that's for, but that'd make a chunky sausage. All right, I'm gonna set this on the counter, so I'll put this back in here. All right, the instruction book is fairly straightforward. I'm pronouncing that Aobosi. I have not yet watched a YouTube review on this meat grinder, only the beginning of one from the company, just so I know that I think it's supposed to be pronounced Aobosi, okay? So anyway, I'm gonna fold this back up, put this back together, and there we have it, all right? The electric cord stores right under there, so when you put it on a cabinet in the counter or whatever, that you don't have to worry about the cord being in the way. It is showing fingerprints as I've touched it here. I guess I can wipe those off, so that just shows you how shiny it is. All right, now right here is the release button for this unit to come out. And it locks in place the same way. So if I want to put it in, I put it in here like that, turn it, it clicks, and we're ready to grind. All right, now, I guess I should be doing all this on the countertop. This is not supposed to be stored there. There's nothing in the instructions. I just found that was a convenient place because it doesn't fit back here, but these are your 3 sausage tubes. A small meat, this one looks like it would make, Slim Jim style meat sticks, and smaller hot dog size sausages, and then, regular sausage links. So you got these 3, they nest there, and I'm gonna put them right here. Now you may notice I haven't done an unboxing. Look, I'm Unboxing videos are boring. I don't like to watch them, and I don't like to make them. I've made them before, and I just hate it. I don't even like editing them. It came in a good box. It came in a big brown box with stuff around it, and inside it was a smaller brown box that said Aobosi meat grinder on it. And then inside that, this was packed with all the right styrofoam packing, and everything was packed very well inside the box. But there was no gloss, there was nothing shiny. It wasn't like store shelf, presentable type box to be sold in a retail location. Just a plain brown box with stamped writing on it. So, all right, now, so this is the work. This is a little tray where you'll put your cut up meat in. All right, you can look down in there and you see an auger. I'm gonna show you that in just a minute. All right, this right here, you come off, and there's a die. I guess that's what you call it. That's what I'm calling it. That picks your meat size. And I think there's four sizes, and this is the second to largest one, okay? That's what I'm grinding meat. This is a blade that cuts it. You're supposed to put oil on it, right, like this. All right? And then this is the auger and it's got a silicone seal right there. And so that pushes the meat through this as it turns. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wash all this with heavy soap and water. I'm gonna remove this little sticker that tells you the position of the blade, okay? Because I don't wanna wash it. And then we're gonna grind up this, that little ring that goes on here just hit my tile floor. But I think the ring's okay. Not sure about my tile floor. Oh well. I'm already 6 minutes into this, and this is supposed to be a short video. I'm gonna grind up this rump roast right here, ground round, rump roast, whatever, and I'm gonna make some burgers, okay? All right, that blade right there cuts it up along this die, and I need to oil that with some cooking oil, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, I forgot to mention it does have this plunger that pushes the meat down the tube. It goes in there. Listen, I didn't watch any reviews on this except for one little short 2-minute one from the Aobosi YouTube page, just to find out how to, Aobosi, just to find out how to pronounce it, and I still pronounced it wrong. But what I did do was watch a video on why you might want to grind your own, as we say in the South, hamburger meat, as they say other places, ground beef, or ground pork, or ground chicken, or just ground meat in general. So I found a really good video, it's not very long, from Cooks Illustrated and America's Test Kitchen about grinding your own. They grind their own beef for burgers, and they do a fantastic little demonstration about the texture of fresh ground beef versus store-bought ground beef, all right? And I would like to tell you that in dealing with beef, if you buy a chuck roast to get ground chuck, or you buy a rump roast as I have to get ground round or whatever, or a sirloin roast to get ground sirloin, I'd like to tell you that the ground meat is more expensive than the beef cuts, but that's not exactly true at my grocery store. The beef cuts, the rump roast, the steaks, the things like that are more expensive per pound than the ground meat. Why? Because they take all the trimmings of there at the butcher shop at the meat market, and that's what they grind up. And you don't really know what part. And yeah, it may say 80-20, but do you really know it's 80-20? You know what I'm saying? But also the texture is different. The video that I'll have linked below shows shows that, okay? So the other thing is you can get it. Like my supermarket, my grocery store has a little section where if the meat's expiring that day, they put it on discount, and I go there, and sometimes I'll get things like cube steaks or sirloin steaks or even ribeyes or something that are going out. But if it's ribeyes, I'm gonna cook them anyway. But maybe I wanna just grind them up and make spaghetti with it, or make a hamburger helper or something other than burgers, tacos or something. I can buy that meat and it'll be cheaper than ground meat. I can grind it up in this home grinder. Now this grinder is it's not a commercial grinder. So, it's for home use. You're going to use it, every now and then. It's not, if you're running a meat shop, you got a butcher shop and you're grinding 50 pounds of ground beef every day, you're going to need a more commercial grinder. But this should last you quite a long time if it does as they say it does. All right, let's take a look at it. All right, so I chopped up the rump roast into pieces that will fit into this tube right here at the top of your screen. I removed the fat trimmings, which I will make a little bit of tallow with. I've got a video on making lard and tallow, and so I'm not going to throw that away. And we're going to drop that all into this bowl right here. All right, I probably ought to be wearing gloves, but I'm just going to put the meat chunks down in there like that, and then some in this tray here to knock in there in a moment. Wish my dogs would quit scuffling in the back. You tell the dogs quiet on set, they don't pay attention. Sometimes the kids don't pay attention and they're about grown. Anyway, you see I'm gonna push that in through there like that. All right, so let's get it going. Let's reverse. Look, it's got a reverse on it so that if it gets stuck, you can reverse it and unstick it. All right, that's it going. And I'm just gonna push it. And you know what, the meat's coming out. I wanna tell you, I'm gonna grind up the meat and I'm gonna make burgers with it. I'm gonna use my own burger seasoning here. This is table salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and cumin. I like to put this in my burgers. I make it up myself. It's a tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of each of the other ingredients. Onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, and paprika. Sometimes if I'm feeling good, I substitute the paprika for cayenne pepper, but this is paprika. All right, and sometimes I'll put a teaspoon of powdered beef bouillon in it, but that's not what's in this. Anyway, that's what we're gonna do the burgers with. Let's get to grinding. So I ground up this bowl of rump roast, and I'm going to make burgers out of it, seasoning it with my seasoning mix as much as I want to of it. I'm going to make some patties, and I'm going to put them on the grill. All right, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to taste one of the patties without putting it on a burger bun or showing you how to fix a burger. This is not a recipe video. This is a review of this Aobosi meat grinder. And as you can see, it ground the meat. There's other dies here, which will give me a different size grind, but that's about the size grind I want for these burgers. All right, so here's the parts that I need to wash. The die, the blade, the auger, and the feed tube. And that's how much meat's left in there that, didn't get run all the way through it. So anyway, here's the burgers. And I use this burger press here, which I did a review of last year. I'll leave that link down below. But anyway, there's my burgers, and we're gonna go put them out on my gas grill and do a real quick taste test and see the advantage of home grilled burgers. And that's something that's on the bowl, not on the counter, because it's a clear glass bowl. All right, okay, so my gas grill is hot, and I'm gonna put these patties on here and let them cook. All right, well done burgers are 165. These are getting very, very close. And I'm one that likes the well done ones. But if you like a rare burger, I like rare steaks, medium rare steaks. But if you like one medium rare or whatever, and sometimes I do, especially if I know where the meat comes from, grinding your own burger meat is the way to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these off of here as these are done, and I'll meet you inside. In the background, you hear my convection oven fan cooking some tater tots to go with these burgers. I've got buns and all the fixings off to the side here. But that's what they look like on this warped pizza pan. And they just smell delicious. Boy, it's late July in Louisiana. August will start next week, and it's hot outside, humid outside, even by the gas grill, which is why I didn't use my rocket stove or charcoal grill. But look, that's not the last time you're gonna see that meat grinder on my channel. I've already got it cleaned up. I've already got it packed up the way you saw it earlier, and I've already got it stowed away in my cabinet. It was not hard to do. If it was, I'd tell you so. All right, but I'm going to be making some sausage recipes, especially boudin recipes, and I'll be grinding up for some burger recipes and stuff like that. And when I can get meat on special, whether it's cube steak or whatever, I'll grind that into burger stuff and freeze it when it's buy it now, buy it that date stuff. All right, now here was the America's Test Kitchen video, which is linked down below. You should go watch it. Was it right about the texture of home ground burgers, even if I'm using ground round and not ground chuck? Now, I got burgers, I can fix stuff up, but I'm just gonna bite into this patty right here. It's still a little warm, but it's warm enough that I can bite into it. This one looks like the most well done of the ones I cooked. So that's why I'm gonna use it. Now the dogs come over here and start eating their dry food again when I do this part. Yeah, right there. I love my own burger seasoning. It's really good. The texture is really good. I could easily make this medium. I don't want to eat a rare ground meat burger, but I like medium. And it's not fully well done either, but it's close. The footage you just saw was me using the meat grinder for the very first time. I've had it several weeks now, and I've used it 4 times now. I've cut up 2 more round roast and a chuck roast. In fact, the footage you saw at the beginning of this video, where I have basically my opening credits, which says Big Lou Barbecue reviews this meat grinder, that was me grinding the chuck roast. Now, the first time, what you just saw, those burgers were a little dry. I didn't put any fat in that, you know? And my daughter liked them lean. My son thought they were too dry. I tolerated them lean because I wanted them lean. I cut up another round roast. I included all the fat, made burgers with it, and ground it up. And it was, they were better. They were better, but round is a lean meat. I cut up another round roast, and I made hamburger steaks with them, and I did some pasta. Okay, it was some, just pasta sauce and on top of some, I think I used rotini and mixed the ground meat in that, and that was pretty good. And then I cut up a chuck roast, which I said you saw at the beginning, and with that chuck roast I made a chili. And I tell you what, I've used it 4 times, been impressed with it every one of them. Now I've since watched some videos on grinding meat, because like I said, I'm new to this, all right? I am not a professional cook. I'm just a fella having fun with food, fire, and a phone camera in my backyard. So I have done some stuff with grinding meat, and the other videos I've watched, they say, oh, you should chill all the parts, put them in the freezer. The meat hopper, the feed tube, the auger, the blade, and the die, everything needs to be really, really cold. And when you cut up your meat into squares, it needs to be really cold. Then you need to put it back in the freezer and cut it up again. And they may have something to that with the fat melting, but some videos I saw said because you want to keep the bacteria out of it, maybe there's a point to that. But look, I cook my burgers well done, and I'm a well done ground meat guy. I'm not always well done on some cuts of steak like ribeye and New York strips. I like those medium rare to the rare leaning side. Other cuts like sirloin, I like steaks. I like medium rare to the medium side of things. And some steaks, cheaper cuts of steak, I like them well done. And I like my burgers well done. So I'm not really worried about the bacteria getting in it, but they said, no, you can't have the bacteria in it. Maybe there's a point to that. Maybe there's something to the fat melting, but the instructions on this thing didn't say anything about freezing the components or putting them in the refrigerator, so I didn't do that. But I've used it 4 times now. Very impressed with this meat grinder. Aobosi meat grinder, thank you for sending it to me to review. If you're interested in getting a meat grinder for home use, I like this one. Like I said, it's the only one I've ever used, so I've got nothing to compare it to, but I do have one coming that I'm gonna compare it to. And but I like it. I'm gonna leave a link to the my affiliated Amazon link. So if you buy it from that, it helps out the channel a little bit, but I'm impressed with it. One thing that makes this one really cool that I've not seen on some of the others is the reverse function. So if it gets stuck, you can reverse it and kind of unstick without having to pull everything apart and ungum it all. Anyway, thanks for watching. Big Lou Barbecue.